Awesome. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Flutter Dev Camp 2022 Web Edition. This is the fourth and last session of this amazing series. So I just wanted to say thank you to those of you who have stuck all the way from the beginning, who have joined every single one of the four sessions, whether you guys have learned about Flutter Web, how to deploy your web applications, your Flutter Web applications to Firebase hosting. It's been an amazing series. We've shared a bunch of your creations. You guys have done amazing work. So we hope that you can continue your journey as Flutter web developers, as published Flutter web developers in the days and months and years to come. So just want to say thank you on behalf of the whole team. We have Kevin on deck in there. We have Linda also helping us out. So thank you everybody from the whole organizing team, from GDG Lawrence, GDG Capital Region, GDG Boston Android, and all the other GDGs helping us out. Thank you everybody for being part of this amazing session. So we're going to proceed now. Again, remember we said that this was a 4-part Flutter event series. It is still focused on Flutter Web, publishing your Flutter Web apps to Firebase hosting. So in the 4 series, you can go back and watch the rest of the videos where we actually build a Flutter Web app, build Flutter Web apps. We showed your creations, and then we were able to deploy to Firebase hosting. We talked about building your UIs for Flutter Web. We also deployed to Firebase hosting. Kevin was very gracious enough to help us out in showing us how to consume public APIs from your Flutter Web apps. And today we're just going to wrap up showing what you guys have built for the past four sessions. And we're going to wrap it up by just saying preparing the application for prime time. I'm just going to show you a couple of last things that you can do to polish your application and make it available online so that you has a great presentation and whatnot. So we're going to be talking about that before wrapping up. So this is the last session. Like I mentioned, today we're going to be doing a little showcase as always. We're going to go through some of the applications that you guys have built. And that's it. So we're going to also be rewarding some of you who have completed the assignment, which was a Flutter Web app deployed to Firebase hosting. Remember that initially we just did like a Hello World app and then we published it to Firebase. That was the initial assignment. But remember, you need to at least have something beyond that, just the counter app in there to really qualify. It was good that you did it, but we need to make sure that we've seen that you actually took advantage of some of the techniques that we showed through the series, so that then you can build something cool and publish it out there as a Flutter Web app hosted in Firebase hosting. So again, these are your instructors and facilitators. I am Roman Jacquez. I am a Flutter GDE lead organizer at GDG Lawrence. I don't know if Lionel is on deck, and also Kevin. He's been also an amazing organizer and helping us out with the session. Kevin, you want to say hi?
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the 4th session. As Roman mentioned, this is amazing. These amazing session during the 4th session, and hopefully you can enjoy the last session for today.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And again, like I mentioned, this is not possible if we don't get support from other GDGs and collaborating chapters, such as GDG Capital Region with their amazing host, Linda Kovac. She's been joining us in every single session. So kudos to you, Linda, for bringing your community over and helping us out with this session. Same thing with Elizabeth from GDG Boston Android. She's been sending her love and her community over to join these sessions. So thanks to both of you. Linda, would you mind, sorry to put you on the spot again, would you mind opening up your mic, just saying a few things for the folks in attendance?
Actually, by now I should be used to.
And I'm going to call you out.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Roman, Kevin, and Elizabeth, and everyone who put up this event for collaborating, for inviting us to collaborate with you and be here to help everybody. And I wish you good luck. And I'm so happy that we are going to do even the road to the Google Cloud certification together. So many other events to be all here together with the community. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Linda. And yeah, she reminded you again, we have such an amazing, a group of sessions and events coming up from the same communities that you see right now. A lot of exciting events, a lot of exciting content for you coming in the next couple of months. So please make sure to stay tuned, whether via GDG Capital Region, GDG Boston Android, GDG Lawrence. All of us are going to be providing amazing content to continue elevating our community. So thank you, everybody, for your support. Let's continue. And of course, there's the GDG Slack channel. I believe the team is going to be dropping the links in the chat so that you can still, even beyond this session, you can still reach out to us and join the Slack channel, the Flutter Slack channel, so that we can help you out with your Flutter web applications. You have any concerns, you're stuck on anything, let us know, as we see that our availability, we're there, all the time. Please let us know whether you're stuck on anything. We'll let you know and we'll help you out. So this is the Slack channel so that you can continue reaching out to us. And of course, all these sessions are recorded, but the beauty of being present in this session is because you're gonna win a lot of cool things like raffles, t-shirts, being in touch with the experts about Flutter Web and Firebase and all of that, and then interacting in a community and helping each other out. But all these sessions are recorded and they will be posted on our YouTube channel. Make sure to both subscribe and watch these recordings in there. Again, the beauty of being present is being in this community-centric activity. So thank you for those of you who have, again, been attending and are present right now. So thank you, everybody. And of course, remember, the goal of the series was to actually publish your first publicly available Flutter web application. We started building UIs. Now and then we were able to publish it to Firebase hosting. That way your published Flutter web apps were available for the whole world to see. So that was exactly the goal of the series, and that's exactly what we're going to conclude in here, and just making sure that everybody accomplished the task at hand, which was build a simple Flutter web app. It doesn't have to be really complex, but at least it has to be beyond that counter app. So you still have time. In the remaining time, you can just go in there and try to wrap it up a little bit and just republish, so that then you qualify for the raffle, the certificate of completion. We're gonna, give those out to those people who have completed the sessions, the assignment, have published, have attended most of our sessions, and of course, you have a published Flutter web application in there, and you're gonna also qualify for some of the raffles that we have today. Great. And of course, you see, now we changed the criteria. As long as you submit a Flutter web application, now you didn't have to attend all the 4 sessions. At least we wanted to make sure that you publish something meaningful and put it out there in the world. You qualify for the certificate of completion. That means at least you were able to be with us. You even consumed our content, collaborated with the community, joined the Slack channel. You're going to get the certificate of completion. For those of you who have published a Flutter web app, they have it public out there. Beyond that counter application, you're going to get a Flutter swag, and of course, a chance to enter the raffles from our sponsor in this series. So thank you for those of you, and you still have time. That's what I'm saying. Beyond the simple counter application, if you have something out there, something cool, even if it's simple, that's okay. Make sure that you have something in there so that then we can provide you with your certificate of completion. And of course, make sure to submit your Flutter web app. You're going to get the certificate of completion for those of you who provide us with the link in the form provided. And I'm pretty sure the team is going to be dropping the link in there. This is the form for you to submit the link of the Flutter web app that you have published. Make sure that you put your name and your email so that you can then get the certificate of completion, which you can use to post it on social media, on LinkedIn or whatever, from GDG Lawrence. It comes from GDG Lawrence as a token of our appreciation for you to have joined us throughout this four-part series, and for being just awesome and learning with us about Flutter Web App. So make sure to still submit. You still have time to submit. We still have 2 more hours to go. Make sure to submit, while we go through this session. And of course, we are more than pleased to announce that Flutter Flow is also the sponsor for this event. Flutter Flow is a web-based IDE and rapid prototyping tool that allows you to build Flutter applications in minutes. It's an amazing tool. You can just go to flutterflow.io. Right now, for those of you who have completed the assignment, which is building a Flutter web application and submitting it to Firebase hosting, you qualify to enter the Flutter Flow raffle. Make sure that you submit your application. Make sure that you provide us with your information, and you will qualify for the raffle on Flutter Flow account, which is the official sponsor for the Flutter Dev Camp 2022. So thank you, Flutter Flow. And what are we going to be raffling? Again, I can't stress it enough. It's the same form that you use to submit your Flutter web app, your published Flutter web app. We're going to be using to draw the raffle. So today we're going to be raffling only one 6-month premium access and 4 1-month premium access to Flutter Flow. But you first need to make sure that you create a free account. So you go to flutterflow.io, you sign up, you create an account. It's very easy, just a couple of clicks. I can show you how to do it. It's very simple. You create a Flutter Flow account and you submit the Flutter web application, and that's it. You enter the raffle. Make sure that you have a Flutter Flow IO account and you submit your Flutter web app, and then you're all set. If you didn't create the Flutter Flow account, that's okay. We're going to help you. But if you win the raffle, you need to have a Flutter Flow account so that they can then flip that free account to a 6-month premium or those 4 1-month premium access, okay? So we're going to be doing that at the end of the session, so stay tuned. Make sure we're going to pick 5 lucky winners, and you're going to get the Flutter Flow premium accounts. And of course, for everybody, whether you completed a Flutter web app or you're just here attending and being, your awesome self, we have Flutter Dev Camp t-shirts. So we're going to be raffling one more, the last one. We're going to be raffling 1 Dev Camp t-shirt. You just make sure that you provide us with your email and the size, and we will contact you for shipping. So for those of you who are present in here at the end of the session, we're going to be drawing a raffle for 1 Flutter Dev Camp t-shirt. If you also, let's say, submitted a Flutter web app and you are still here, you could also get it. So you could definitely go home, pack it with a lot of gifts. So good luck to everybody. Make sure to stick all the way till the end. And whether you submit it or not, you're going to get a Flutter Dev Camp t-shirt. Just provide us with your information. Thank you. Let's continue. And of course, remember, we just wanted to recap on what we did during this Flutter Dev Camp. So we, for those of you who this is your 4th time joining, or this is your first time that you're actually watching this or just joined, remember from the beginning, we've been setting up folks on how to set up their local environment optimized for Flutter web development. So we installed Flutter and for Windows or Mac, and there's the link. Also, it will be provided in the chat. Also, we show you how to install Visual Studio Code, which is the preferred IDE. So we set up your environment for Flutter Web because it's the lowest barrier to entry when it comes to becoming a Flutter developer. Because the Flutter Web, as soon as you install the Flutter framework, you don't have to install Xcode, you don't have to install Android Studio, you don't have to install any other dependencies. Just Chrome is enough for you to become a Flutter developer, because you can immediately tap into Flutter's power just by tapping the web. And of course, this Flutter Dev Camp was focused on building your very own Flutter web application using consuming publicly available RESTful APIs, implementing state management, doing cool animations, doing cool stuff. And of course, you were able to build like a UI layout for your Flutter web application, and that's what we focused on. So I'm glad that everybody was able to build applications and submit your own. So thank you, all of you. And of course, at the end, you needed to set up also your Firebase account. Again, that is the reason for us to publish it. It's completely free. You don't have to pay anything to create a Firebase project. And then to post and to publish your Flutter web app to Firebase hosting is also free. only you need to be within the Spark, the free tier, which is called Spark in the Firebase, in your Firebase console, and you can just submit any web application, in this case Flutter Web App, and then you can just publish it to Firebase hosting within the limits, of course, and then you can just keep it in there forever, and then you can use that as your portfolio, as a cool web app that you just wanted to show off to the world. The great thing about this is that you could use also the Firebase hosting, remember, to publish your Flutter Web App, and with the CLI, it's just a matter of one single click, and your web app is already out there, available for the world, with with security by default using SSL and all of that, and it's an amazing resource for you to publish your Flutter Web Apps. So the two technologies discussed in this Flutter Dev Camp, we were doing Flutter, of course. Remember this open source UI toolkit supported by Google that you can use to deploy to 6 distinct platforms, and just using one single code base, which is Dart. And Firebase, which is a suite of serverless services that you can use to build robust web applications and robust applications in general, backed by the Google Cloud. So these were the two technologies that we focused on during this series, and we were very very honored to have all of you learning about these two. Again, just one more recap about what's Flutter Web. We had like a couple of Twitter spaces also on how discussing Flutter Web, clearing your doubts about Flutter Web. So what was it good for? Remember, Flutter Web is good for those progressive web app experiences, single page app experiences, existing mobile mobile applications in Flutter that you wanted to migrate to the web, with certain exceptions, of course. But then Flutter is not good for stuff like a blog or like a SEO optimized HTML pages. But you can actually embed Flutter inside of an iframe, inside of another traditional web application. If you want more like an engaging, highly interactive user experience, you could use that. That's what Flutter Web is for, and you can use that to embed it in other pages as well. So that is what Flutter Web is good for and what is not good for. And again, the wrap up of this series, we're going to be preparing your Flutter Web application for prime time. If we do have chance, we can go over other topics, but we wanted to make you and be the start of the show. We wanted to showcase your creations. We just wanted to wrap up one more item, which is just preparing the Flutter Web app for prime time, changing the icon, making sure that you do change like the title and all of that, and that you have like a proper loading screen in there, so that then you can show it up to the world. Sorry. And of course, as we always do, we do a mini showcase. Those of you who are ready to show the progress, if you want to share what you're working on, let's do that right now. You can submit your links, or we can, with your permission, we can grab the links of the folks who have already submitted, and let's see what they've done. Again, remember, you still have the chance to submit today. If you're still working on your app, you can do one minor tweak. Please go ahead and do it. Remember how easy it is. You just do Flutter build web. You can specify the type of renderer, whether it's Canvas, Kit, or HTML. And then you just do Firebase deploy, and you're done. I'm going to show you also how the one that I've been building, how that one is coming out. And of course, here we just want to give you feedback on your application, address any blockers that you may be having. Last session was amazing because we were helping people out. So that was one of my most favorite sessions, where Kevin was helping us out. We were helping other people out, and that's the reason why we're here, to serve you, to help you out, and to empower you as a Flutter web developer. So let me stop right now. What I'm going to do is give a chance to any of you who want to submit, or I can, again, grab the list of submissions that we've had, and I can go through some of those if you want to share. Then we will also like to hear from you, like to tell us about your experience building that Flutter web application, deploying it to Firebase. If you're here and you want to share, that would be great. So please let me know who would like to share, let's say, your creation with the group, and we can just open up your mic and we just hear from you. So I'm just gonna give a chance real quick. Okay, we have the first one, Mahendran. So Mahendran is sharing his application. Thank you so much, Mahendran, for being the first one. Linda or Kevin, can you help me opening up Mahendran's mic so that then I'm going to show his application and he can like maybe share a little bit of experience on what it was for him to build this Flutter web application. This is an amazing, very looking Flutter web application, Mahendran. Let me be honest with you. So let's open up Mahendran's mic and just hear from him about his experience building this Flutter web application and deploying it to Firebase hosting. Let me see this.
His mic's open.
Great.
Give it a try.
Yes, Mahendran, so whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
So this is what Mahendran built. So he has like a couple of links here. Like maybe he's gonna loads his resume. He's probably is gonna show projects in here and some of the contact information. But so far, the About Me is looking really cool. Like you see, like you can click, it goes to his Twitter. That's awesome. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Flutter developer. That's amazing. And then look, you can click on other things. That's very good. You can go to Facebook. You can go to his LinkedIn. This is an amazing, and this is actually the reason, one of the best experiences that I've seen. This is really good. And this is the reason why you do a Flutter web application. This is one of the cases that you can use to build a Flutter web application. Okay, now we have Mahendran. Mahendran, the floor is yours. You want to share your experiences building this?
Hi, sir. Good morning. Just I think I want to try some web apps now. This is my first experience in web app. I also created more than mobile apps, but first experience in Flutter web app. So I tried to some fun. So I tried to my portfolio web app. So it is useful for me also. I tried the animations, the stacks, and the link navigations and the paginations. So using Trader, it is very useful for me.
This was very well executed. I like that you used, by default, I already can tell you that you used, for example, the URL launcher, because now you're able to link into other pages from here. That's amazing. You definitely use stacks. That was a very good use. Any challenges that you faced while you were building this application? You found any challenges along the way?
Yes, the stacks. Stack one is my issue on that. But I tried to fixing that issue or fixed also.
It looks good. It doesn't look like you had an issue. It looks like very good, very clean. Where did you get inspiration to build this Flutter web application?
Inspirations. First time I attended this event, so I want to get idea from this time also.
Very good, very good. This is an amazing execution, Mahendra, let me tell you. And you definitely, of course, you qualify for the raffle, the Flutter Flow raffle, and you already have your certificate of completion because you definitely went through all the sessions. You built something really cool, and we can just thank you enough for being part of our community. Thank you for this project, and thank you for sharing with us. So stick around. So that we can give you your the raffle item when you if you qualify. So good luck to you later. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay, let's bring Mahendra down. Thank you, everybody. Let's see anybody else. Says we have Danai says I only had a week since I managed to deploy. That's totally fine. Even if you have something simple in there, that's pretty good. So let's bring Danai next. And let me tell you, your t-shirt is on its way. It's just that it's taking a little bit, but everybody who want a t-shirt is getting it. So let's bring the nice project now next. Let's bring it up. And I know, yeah, you definitely had a couple of issues. Are you saying that you had an issue with this thing? Come on, really? This looks amazing. You were being really modest. Is this your Flutter web application? This is amazing. Come on, this is awesome. And let's bring her up and let's talk. I'm not going to talk. I'm going to let you do the talking. Come on.
Yeah, well, it's built upon a template. It's not all my work. And most of the buttons don't work at the moment. But yeah, I mean, I've changed everything from the template, all the color scheme, all the graphics. So the information is correct. So yeah, that's me.
This looks amazing because again, remember, Flutter Web also allows you to bring, for example, like you can bring a template. Of course, you need to draw, inspiration from ideas or components. So this is amazing. This is again another one of the reasons for Flutter Web. These type of experiences, like a single page application, a portfolio type of a web application, something that you can put out there in front of folks. So I'm going to ask you anyway, and I know you're going to be sharing it. What challenges did you face? I know you're going to be sharing the ones that you had, but I would love to hear it from you. So was it?
Oh yeah, sure. So one of them was obviously the deploying part. Because I'm working on a Windows machine, we just realized that you need to define the renderer, otherwise it's not really working properly. So yeah, that was the main one. From there on, I just had to kind of understand the structure of the Dart language and Flutter in general, how it works. The Firebase stuff were easier, I would say. So yeah, once you get like the you get the main idea, it becomes a bit easier. So integrating the template and then just trial and error from there on. So yeah, I mean, now the challenge is to just trying to connect all the buttons to to the proper to direct you to the proper thing.
You are on a great path. You are off on a great start. This is amazing. I like how you personalized it, how you make it yours, how you change the template. You see, even that already says a lot about you, that you're able to bring a template in and modify it and tweak it to your needs and make it very personal. So I just want to say, amazing execution. Of course, you qualify for the certificate of completion. Thank you for sticking with us throughout the whole series and also being very supportive of other folks in the chat. I saw that you were already even giving advice to other folks. So thank you very much for being here. This is an amazing execution. You see, folks, this is the reason why we wanted to create these type of events, to share with everybody, showcase everybody, celebrate one another. So then I thank you.
Yeah, this is awesome. I really like it. Just one question follow up on your speaking about template, and what sort of template that user maybe you like to share. I'm familiar with Figma, or I think Roman had also showed us you have to use XD. I'm just curious whether you actually use some kind of tool like this that I mentioned.
So yeah, I found it. I don't remember exactly. I have on the bottom. I have the name of the creator because I like to give credit to people.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, that kind of directed me. I found it on a webpage for Flutter templates, and I just cloned the repository from GitHub and just went from there on.
Okay,
but
cool.
I can add the link on the chat if you're interested.
I'm sure the rest of the folks in the session will be interested in seeing that.
That would be great. It is amazing. That's all I can say. And of course, now you see the thing I love about like Firebase, and I like that your testimonial about like how easy it was. It was very simple. You created the project, and then all you have to do is just continue deploying. It doesn't have to be only Flutter Web. You could be any other type of web application that you want to deploy. But you see this about the security that Firebase gives you. You see, like her web app is already secure. You see, like it has SSL. And you get that already by default by adopting Firebase, and that gives her users a sense of security, and that she's definitely taking security as a first citizen in her project. So Danai, amazing execution. Thank you so much. Round of applause for her. Please, just accompany me to doing that and congratulating him. Thank you so much. Next up, we have David. David Adebayo, thank you again for being here with us. Let's take a look again at his project. So let's just launch it right here. Nice. Oh, this is amazing. Very cool. Very cool. This is another one of those cases where you do like a portfolio. I love your portfolio, guys. This is exactly one of the best cases, like I mentioned, for Flutter Web. single page applications, portfolio type of experiences, so that you can showcase your skills. So David, can we bring him up so that he can speak about his project while we show it? Go ahead, David, the floor is yours. This looks very good.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Enable his presenter mode.
Good morning, David. How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm fine.
What challenges did you face during your building this Flutter web application? Any challenges?
I have the same issue with Diana's with the deployment, which I had to use the render Canva kits, and also I had an issue when I deploy. I don't see my photo, I don't see my picture and some other assets that I had it. So I need to redeploy close to like 3 to 4 times before it came up. And also the animations and all. So I've not really had some routes to the buttons there. So they still are developing. So I have to come up.
And that's great. Like at least you have here, an initial, let's say, deployment. This is even great. Like you say that you still have other things to add, like, cook up all the other like navigation and whatnot, but this is a great start. You have an amazing foundation so that you can continue building your Flutter web application. But again, like I keep mentioning, this is the case for Flutter web app. Amazing experiences like this that you can build in Flutter. Then you can even just grab this, make it into a mobile application if you want. This is pretty cool. So, and I'm glad, and thank you for sharing. Like, I know that a few folks had a couple of issues, of course, then I had a couple of those issues about like deploying the application. But once you just get it down to just fixing that issue, it's all smooth sailing from there. Sorry about that, guys. It's just smooth sailing from there. Like I said, it's very, very, very easy, very smooth actually. So thank you very much for sharing. This is an amazing experience. I see this button say hire me. So hey, I'm trying to click, man, because I would hire you. This is an amazing experience. Thank you so much for sharing. This is a very cool project. So any other feedback that you have from us, any suggestions for anybody else? But other than that, this is an amazing project.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, David. So let's see, does anybody else? We have so you say you just updated it right now. That's totally fine. Again, like I said, you can even do it right now, and if we see like any updates that you may have published, we will show it for you. So thank you again, David. Let me bring now Sosu. Let's try him. Let's bring him up. I'm gonna click on your experience, and I like how you called it Roman Flutter Web Tuts. That's awesome. But again, see, this is a very good start. It's beyond the what is it, the counter app. This is very good. See, you're already oh wait, I like that icon. Is this something that you're actually building for real, like the EDU fund, help us student continue and doing like this thing? Is this something that you're actually creating? Can we bring Sosu up, and then he can explain to us what his project will be about?
Yes. So as right now, I hadn't updated it. So right now, when you started the session, I just updated it. Site that I'm working on, it was a project that I started during the GDSE Solution Challenge 2021.
Oh,
and
nice.
I took it on to further. It's something I'm passionate about, and I really want to get. So I've sent the link site online, so I just look at how I can build the mobile application using Flutter. Since I already have the mobile app in Flutter, the web app is in HTML. So I was just looking at design into Flutter. So yeah, this is just what I just did. Yeah.
Perfect. That's amazing. But you see, now you're presenting yet another case for building a Flutter web application. You already have an existing mobile application, and then now you're moving it over or transitioning it to the web, or having like a web companion for your mobile web application. So that's amazing. So thank you so much for sharing. I hope you take this. There's a lot of potential in this one. I see already things coming together. So please continue. Don't stop. Continue building on this Flutter web application, because there's a lot of potential. And of course, good luck to you and your project. and congrats on being part of the the solutions challenge for and like this is a great, amazing, and it's looking really good. So there's a lot of potential. Please keep forging ahead. Congrats to you, and of course, thank you for being part of our sessions. We saw you throughout the session, of course, and being part of this amazing event. So thank you so much for your submission. Perfect. Let's continue on the next one. The next is David Odejovi. Remember his COVID report? Remember from last time? I think we're gonna just show it one more time because it was an amazing execution. So thank you again, David, for sharing this amazing and I see that you actually added more stuff. So guys, he actually even continued bringing up elevating his game, bringing his A game. He's even adding the same thing that I was going to add to this design. He added animation to the logo. I was going to do that. He did it. I didn't have to tell him. He did animations on the images. I was going to do that. He did it. He's an amazing promising young Flutter developer. And I like his work and the fact that he was able to take the design that I provided and definitely make it his own, take it all the way. And the cool thing is actually hooked up to real data, folks. Like this is already pulling real data from from the API. So thank you, David, for sharing. Let's open up your mic. Please speak about the project. This is looking amazing, brother. This is looking really good. So can you tell us a little bit more about this experience?
Good morning, Roman. Good morning, Kelvin. Good morning, everybody. So
good morning.
Okay, for me, it was just the desire to learn more and to grow. I think that is what just gave me the eagerness to learn how to do this. Then I'll just check and find something to do. Then also your work. Okay, I think I looked at your previous work and they inspired me. So just took inspiration from different work and just I added them to form a new web app.
This is awesome.
Okay. I also added.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, I added responsiveness to it, so you can reduce it and see.
Are you serious? Oh, come on, man.
Yes.
Come on, man. No, come on. Oh my God. Look at this guy. Man, I can't with you, man. This is amazing. You actually did the design. You followed the design to the T. Dude, you're taking my words away, man. This is really cool. And look, you actually did exactly what I was expecting from this design. So again, kudos to you, David. This looks amazing. I hope people can actually even consume this this Flutter web application because there's real valid information to be displayed in here. So this looks amazing. I love the execution. I love that you made it like very mobile friendly. And look, when you expand it, it becomes you actually taking advantage of the real estate because it's a full Flutter web application. But then when you shrink it, you actually make it look and feel like a mobile application by providing navigation in place because this is a tailored experience for a smaller screen. So David, you are out of this world, man. This is great, amazing stuff. And of course, we're glad that we serve as inspiration for your project. This is flawless execution for you. 10 stars for you, man. Thank you so much for sharing. I was gonna ask you what challenges did you face, but this looks very like you were cruising through it. But anyway, you want to share any challenges that you may have faced?
Yes. There were quite a number of challenges. Like there were many. So well, there were many challenges. So I think one of the challenges was when I was about to implement the API and make it work and change. I think I had a lot of issues there. So what I had to do was I had to save everything in a list. Then
perfect.
Then it is going to check what the person selected. Then if that thing is containing it, then it's just display the other data. Populate it. So trying to get that was kind of hard. And the animation, well, I'm not too used to animation. So learning the animation too was another thing for me.
I'm glad that you were able to use all of those elements. You see, you're bringing all of those elements into a very clean execution. Like you didn't have to pollute the Flutter web application with a lot of crazy stuff. No, very subtle animations, make it very different and make it very nice. Look how the logo, like, it's just revolving in there. This image is pulsating. You see, you're bringing all those elements into your design. I love the execution. Again, you grab the design and you execute it exactly the way that it was expected. I love the responsiveness in here. You made it very seamless, even though you said that you may have had issues, but this is flawless. This is giving real information about that. You're providing the information, you're providing value. Even this check symptoms, I was gonna go for exactly the same thing, like just clicking and then doing that. I love the way that you did it. This is something that, you know, you could actually promote there. I say, hey, folks, look, this is a Flutter web application that provides very valuable information and people can consume it. So you are already putting something out there in the world for people to consume, something really valuable. Congratulations to you. Of course, you automatically qualify. You're going to get your certificate, and good luck to you for the raffle that is coming up. But anyway, thank you so much for being part of this community and for sharing amazing work like this. Kudos to you, man.
very much.
Thank you so much. Anybody else wants to share?
Yeah, I think Roman, Sousa, I think Sousa had one. You probably skipped.
Oh, sorry. He had an. I did the. Wasn't this the one that I did? Let me open it up again. Oh, he had one, and then he did this one. Okay, got it. Sorry. This is the one. Okay. So this is your definite web, right? We can bring Sosu again to mention it. So this is the web application that you're building, right?
Yes, yes.
And this is the definite the URL for that. The other one is the Flutter web app for your mobile application, right?
Yes, yes.
Got it. See, it's coming out very, very nice. So it's coming out very nice. And I would say, for example, like all of these elements that you have on this one, that you can move over to the other one, and then you just continue learning on doing that. You can have this exact experience over in Flutter, and it will look exactly the same. But I like the fact that you already have something going, like you already have a web app, and it's already out there. And if you now want to then have the Flutter web app version, you can do that in no time as well. So again, congratulations to you one more time, and thank you for sharing. I apologize for skipping that, but yeah, you guys have created amazing work, and I love it. This is great stuff. So thank you so much for sharing.
Feedback on kind of like developing this using the web and then developing using Flutter. I'm looking forward to the day that matured, the Flutter web is matured enough to go completely web, because the difficulty I had in setting up that layout in HTML and CSS started difficult, but it took me close to like 5 minutes to set up what I just did in Flutter. So like, I'm just waiting for the day for it to.
Thank you. Like, that's a great testimonial.
Yeah,
that's a great testimonial, Sosu. Thank you for sharing that. And that's something that people like you who are on the trenches and building real web applications and mobile applications in Flutter, this is a testimonial. It is easy to lay out, to build like layouts, and like you, I am very hopeful that Flutter could become one day like one of the let's say a competitive platform for building legit full-blown web applications. We're getting there, brother. Just stay there, be patient. I know we're going to do it. And, why not? Just one single code base that you can actually publish for multiple platforms. I also want to see Flutter being the one, so I can develop Windows applications, Mac OS applications, Linux applications, all of that, one single code base, and also mobile and web. This is amazing. So thank you again, Sosu. That was an amazing testimonial. Thank you so much for sharing. Anybody else? Again, remember, you can feel free to share your projects. If you don't want to share, that's totally fine, because maybe you still want to finalize it, but other folks might benefit from all of your experience. Remember, this session was mostly to show you how Flutter Web, how mature it is, how cool it is to build Flutter Web applications, and of course, for free, having a published application, a free domain, a free hosting. I mean, you can't beat that. So thank you for those of you who have shared with their project. So great. I see a comment in there. If there's any project on this Flutter Web's open source, to share it with us, please. Yes, exactly. Like, I'm encouraging folks to share your creations with us in Flutter. So great. So let's proceed. Again, as you're completing your project or just doing something simple and still updating, we're going to give you that chance. We're going to continue with the session so that then we're going to give you a chance. So after that, after I wrap up the next block of activities, then we're going to do the raffle. And, we're going to give you a chance for you to still publish whatever you have in, to Firebase hosting, and then we can see it and do the raffle. So thank you. Thank you so much. So let me show you again. We're going to proceed. So we're going to continue now. Paul says he's embarrassed. Paul, no, anything you have, man, anything you have, you can just share it. You don't have to be embarrassed. You have amazing credentials. You're an amazing, developer, cloud expert. So many badges. You could use we could use your expertise in there. So it'd be great if you could do, show us your skills in that front. So thank you so much. Great. So what do we see? Okay, let's continue. If we have any other links, please drop them while I then show the current one that I'm working on. So let me just run the application. Let me show you what is coming out. So Flutter run -v Chrome. Remember, this is just to run your current project in Chrome, and then I'm going to show you how it's coming out. So all of you are actually exceeding my expectations. You guys are creating amazing work. You're taking your executions to the next level. So please continue sharing. Please continue publishing, and not just for this event, beyond this. See, now it's asking me for a new Flutter version of Flutter. I'll take care of that later. I just want to congratulate you again on your execution. Make sure that after this session, you continue building Flutter web applications so that then you can, build your portfolio, build more Flutter web apps, get more knowledge, and continue increasing, your knowledge in the Flutter web. So this is the way that the Flutter Dev Camp Flutter web application is coming out. Remember, like we're creating like the official Flutter Dev Camp 2022 Flutter web application, where we have a couple of banners. We have some banners with some animations and whatnot. Just like you guys, I am also introducing some level of responsiveness. As soon as you like shrink the screen, for example, you see like some things like rearranging themselves. You see things like adjusting appropriately, and then it's looking much better for that type of experience. And then you see how when you stretch it, now we take advantage of the whole real estate. If let's say you want to test it on a mobile device, let's test it on how it will look like on let me go over here, and then I will say what it will look like on an iPhone 12. So this is what it will look on an iPhone 12. And then if you click on the menu, you see now is where I'm going to be introducing like links. So we can exactly what David did. Like he added navigation within the page so that it can navigate to other pages. That's exactly what I'm trying to accomplish here. And then if I, for example, now leverage let's say the full application, you see that every panel now shows expanded fully. So these are the things that, again, are always good to take into consideration when you're building your Flutter web application. Keeping responsiveness in mind, providing a great experience, a very engaging experience. So let's proceed. So now what I'm gonna do is wrap up. Again, remember, we were mentioning how to prepare this for prime time. Let's say my application is fully developed. Now I want to just clean it up, make sure that I do have a proper execution on this project, so that then when I put it out there, when people see it, it will look really cool. They will have like a splash screen. They won't get this like white screen that shows at the beginning. All of those things you can take care of. Those are the things that give your Flutter web application that signature of cleanliness, like very clean and professional execution. Let's take care of that right now. So perfect. Okay, so let's proceed now, and let me show you how to tackle some of those things. So the first thing that I'm going to do is address the issue of the leveraging the lifecycle API of Flutter Web, so I can create a splash screen so that you don't see that white screen at the beginning. How do we do that? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you here in my design. What I am going to do is actually I'm going to create like a launch screen, and I am going to use a simple image, like a regular JPEG or a regular PNG, so that I can use it as the logo that I'm going to show before the Flutter web application gets loaded, and then I'm going to introduce like a launch screen. And the great thing about Flutter Web is that Flutter Web allows you to tap into the life cycle of the core web application, so that then you can introduce those type of things like a launch screen before the Flutter web application. Let me show you how that works. So if you go here to your project, and then you find the web folder, you know that you have here a I'll close all of these so that you can see it. You have a in the main application, right? You have the web folder. The web folder is what gives you the main basic elements, so that then this your Flutter web application will be published as a web application. So here you have like icons that you can use to replace it, so that when your users add it as a launch screen, or they add it as a progressive web application, then you have like cool icons, so that when they add it to the home screen, it looks like a mobile web application. I'm going to show you that in just a minute. That's exactly what you're going to get in the type of experience that your users of your Flutter web applications are expecting from your web app. So you get two icons that you need to replace, one like much larger and one much smaller. This is mostly like for applications that are going to be deployed like on Safari, like using like your iOS, and then this one is like for Android devices. Also, you get some other type of applications. Some of these are even used, for example, like the Favicon. It's actually used for here. So when you deploy your Flutter web application, let's say to the web, you see here, this is already published in Firestore, in Firebase hosting. You see the icon, and you see that there's a title that's not the title of my Flutter application. I don't want that title. I want a nice title, and I want an icon that looks like my application. That way it looks more legit, it looks more clean. So those are the things that I'm going to take care of right now, so that you can see that. So changing the title of your web application, changing the icon, and all of that, we're going to do it in just a minute. So let me just move this over so I can continue. And let me show you. So the first thing is like we can change some of those icons. So I need one. I can go inside of the folder. Sorry, I'm going to just reveal it in Finder, and then I can show you like all of these icons. So if I go to the icons folder, I get this one. I can get the information on this icon. And if you see, you can get the information. It's just a 192 by 192 icon. Then I have a 512 by 512, and this one I'm pretty sure should be the same thing. It's 192 by 192. So all these four icons I am going to replace. Let me show you. So I'm going to grab my design. You can use any tool. Remember, you can use any tool for like replacing the icon. So let's say if I'm going to make this the icon of my application, I am going to then grab this this icon. I'm just going to make another copy of this. I am going to create a 192 by 192 icon. So I'm going to, let me do it again. I can shrink the whole thing to a 192 by 192 icon. So I have 198. Okay, so let me just make it a 192 by 192. There you go. So I need a 192 by 192. Now I need a 512 by 512. What is the other? 512, yes. So I do a 512. Let me do it again. I do a 512 by 512. And because I didn't do it correctly, let me do it again. 512 by 512. That's all it needs to be. So let me make it a 512. There we go. So I need a 512 by 512 and a 192 by 192. I will replace those icons that are part of the web. And now, even when I show it on my web application as a kind of like it will look like native when I add it as the home screen of my iOS device, or I add it as a as a progressive web application in my Android. You don't have to do anything. Literally, you don't have to do anything to make it a progressive web application. The only thing that makes a web application a progressive web application is this file right here, the manifest. So you see, you already have all these constructs as part of your Flutter project. So one of the things that the manifest contains is the name of your application. It also has the, the start URL, the background color. So all these properties that are here in the manifest.json are part of the configuration or the settings that make any Flutter web application a progressive web application. You will get it without like the address bar. It will look like full screen. It will look like a mobile application. And of course, then you're going to use like the icons also to load it so that it makes it look like a mobile application. So let's continue. Let me save these two images, right? I'm going to save these two images as the, like the icons, the corresponding icons in there. So all I have to do is just replace them. So I'm going to say export selected. I am going to go to those two icons and replace those. So I have my Flutter Dev Camp. I'm going to go to the web, and you see the icons right here. I have the 192 and the 512. So let's start with those. So I'll do the 192 first. I will, let me make sure that it got replaced. So if I go to here, which one did I do? Okay, I think I didn't pick the right one. Sorry about that. Let me go back again, and then I say export selected. Let me make sure that I'm actually targeting this folder right here. Let me go. It just went up. That's what it did. Sorry about that. Let me go to the Flutter Dev Camp. It just got saved up here. I need to drag it inside of the icons and drop it in there. So I can generate them there, but then I'll just move them over. I think they just got added outside of my folder. So it's outside of the web. Let me make sure that I'm in the right folder, because I think I may not be. I can drop them in the downloads. I'm just gonna grab the name and then just save it like that. So I'll just grab this name, I'll put it in the downloads, then I'll just replace them. So I'll just say, let me save it like this as a PNG. That's perfect. Then I'm gonna grab the next one, and I'm gonna say export selected. The other icon is the 512 one, right? So the icon 512. So I need this name. I'll grab this guy. I'll put it in the downloads as the 512 one. So I'll do this and export it. I need the other name, this one right here. So I'm going to just grab these. Also export my icon. It has to be 512 and ensure that it's actually those dimensions as well. So make sure. And I need this one, this guy right here. So let me just also rename, grab this, and replace this one by the icon 192. So the 192 one, there we go. Perfect. So yeah, I'm going to replace it. That's okay. Got it. So now, or I think it was this one. Okay, I think it may have been this one, but let me try. So if I go to the downloads, I do have all my images in here. I'm just gonna drag them over. Yeah, I need one more. I need this one, the icon 92. So let me do rename. Let me make sure. I'll just grab the name from this one. Let me export it as a 192 image also, icon 192. And now all I'm gonna do is just replace my images. Just drag them over. Oh, sorry. I can do this also, reveal in Finder, and just drop them in here. So let's go back again. I will drag my icons in there. I'll replace them all. And now if you see, they're here with my icons. Perfect. The favicon is the only one that I haven't done. Let's do that one. Favicons are usually, let me see, they're usually like 16 by 16. Like this one is the one that shows on the web page up there, like on the tab. So you see 16 by 16. So I can do that 16 by 16, even though it will look horrible, but I'll still do it just so that you see it. See, I just go and do the 16 by 16. It's too tiny, but still, let's do it. And then I'll just have to call it, of course, favicon.png. So I'll do that in the downloads. I'll say favicon.png. That's okay. We can move this over. And now I'll grab my favicon and replace it over here. Yes, replace. Perfect. Now I think I should be good up to a certain point. Is that the old icon is still showing, Let's reload the application and let's see if they're coming up. So at least let's see if they're coming up over there. So I'm going to kill it. I'm going to again do Flutter run web. So you saw how simple it was. You just use like your, you can use. Hey, Abhishek, thank you for joining again, brother. Thank you so much. Yeah, so now we're just replacing the images, relaunching the application, seeing if the favicon actually shows up there, and those same icons, you're gonna see them as part of your, of that. So while this is building, if you guys want to take like a couple of minutes break, if you want to do while this is building, some of you want to take a break to grab water or do something. Let's take a couple of minutes break before we proceed to the next session. If you guys want to do that, I'm just going to be here answering any questions and waiting for this to rebuild. And of course, you see that already the icon just got replaced by the new one. So let's take a few minutes, 5 minutes break if you guys want. We're going to pick it up again at 11:06. I'm just going to ask, so for you guys, if you have any questions, please let me know. Remember, we're doing the raffle right after this. We're just wrapping up this series, prepping the application to be published, cleaning it up, make sure that it looks really good and all of that. So please go ahead. You can take a break. We're resuming right back at 11:06. Any questions from anybody while that's going on, please let me know, okay? And all I wanted just to verify, while you guys are taking a quick break, is just making sure that, again, the images got replaced. And if you saw, the images got replaced. Great. So David says, I hosted another web app and I was working on just now. Perfect. Bring it over while we're waiting and people are taking a break. You can, is it the same one or you just dropped another one? So if you did, you can just, if you're working on something, anything you have, all of you, if you're working on something right now and publishing, drop the link right now, because that is what's going to get you, in the door to get your certificate of completion, to get qualified for the Flutter Flow raffle. So make sure that you drop your stuff. David, Imad, you're saying you're trying to share your project. Are you publishing to the web? Are you providing a link? Dana, you're working on an app with Flutter Flow. Could you? Yes, we can definitely help you. Let me open this link that David's providing. David just provided this one. He's calling it Smart Form something something. Oh, you're doing this one also? Very cool. Is this based on a template? Are you doing this on your own? Yes. Oh, perfect. Let's answer questions from folks. I like the way that this is looking, David. This has a great start. Oh, this looks like a working form in here. That looks pretty cool. Very cool. See, you're doing this. Is this a David Odejovi? Is this a template? Is this something that you're using? Something that you're building yourself? Because this looks very good. This looks very good. There's a bunch of great templates out there. Iman, we can help you. Danai, we can help you as well. So let me, yeah, Danai. So you're using Flutter Flow. That's awesome. So let me bring your link. And Flutter Flow again is great for fast prototyping. I definitely suggest it. Again, if you want to create really cool stuff, you can just grab all that code, bring it over to Visual Studio Code, and you can continue there. So for me, it's taking a little bit to load. So I mean, Dana, if you want to share yourself, that would be great. Let me know if you want to share. I can stop sharing and then you share yours. Let me grab Mahendran's link. He's having an issue with the responsiveness. Let's take a look. So if you're saying that whenever I shrink your application and you're doing this, for example, so far, what I see that you have, this looks pretty good. How low you want me to bring it? Do you want me to, I like what you're doing with the text. I like what you're doing with the text. If I show, for example, let's say if not view source, I'm sorry. if I just say inspect and I do, for example, like mobile, is that what you want me to try? Like I can try to simulate it on an iPhone. This looks good. Like even on an iPhone 12 Pro, this looks good, Mahendra. So what is the issue that you're facing? I like the way that it's coming out. So all you need to do is, for example, just make sure that you properly test it on those breakpoints on, for example, like, you know, on an iPhone device. Then in between, that's fine that maybe it may look a little weird, but as long as you do have your breakpoints, you know, well structured, and you can just change like the information on how it gets laid out at various breakpoints, you're good to go. You can take a look at the project. Okay, go ahead, Mahendra. Can you speak?
So facing issue on the responsive text. So text is major issue on my web application. So
yes, text
I
is go ahead.
I tried using fixed media query, but many others way to fix that issue.
Text is always an issue. Text is always an issue. That's why I try not to fight it too much. So for example, instead of, I like the way that you're doing that, you're actually shrinking the text. The way that I do it, I don't fight text too much. So what I do is, like, at various breakpoints, instead of resizing the text at every pixel, like just resizing it, all I try to do is just let it wrap. I try to let it wrap, and at different various breakpoints, I just change the font size. Because, you know, not all the time I want my font to completely like resize with every pixel and just change at every point. You can just keep it simple and just change the font size at a given breakpoint, and then just let it wrap. Because that you know, you have to let text like flow. Don't let text like completely resize with the screen. You can just let it wrap nicely. You know, it can break into multiple lines. You can apply ellipses in some occasions, but just don't fight it too much. What I see that you did there is good. What you did is good, but I would say don't fight it too much. Let the text flow. It's kind of like water, pretty much. You just let it flow, and then you see that your structures won't be like so rigid. But what I see in here, like on an iPhone 12, like this is pretty good. It's just that I see that this issue right here that is blocking maybe the bottom piece. But other than that, the way that you can again like fix that, remember, is just making sure that you leverage the media queries. Make sure that you're not you know, you're taking account of that screen. Don't use fixed sizes. Use like relative sizes. Use like percentages. Use padding. And like I said, you let the content flow. Don't force it into fixed sizes, and just take advantage of the real estate on the screen.
Okay,
but it's looking good again, like I said. Danai, would you like to share your screen? If you want to, I'm gonna stop sharing. And now again, I believe we're back online for those of you who came from their breaks or whatnot. Can somebody bring Danai up, and she can share her screen so that we can help you out if anything? I want to see also like how folks are using Flutter Flow. Oh, this looks cool. Okay, so what issues are you having here in Flutter Flow?
Right. So probably the biggest one is that I created I mistyped my email, and now I cannot log in back because I don't have the email that I used for it. But anyway, so I'm trying to build this app for Android and iOS, and I've worked on it for many hours, and I've lost everything. But anyway, yeah, the text is not showing. So here I had text for each of these things, and here there was text, and here there were left buttons and stuff. So this is also from a template, but yeah, I'm not sure why they had kind of changed the images here as well, and it's not working.
Go back to the design. Go back to Flutter Flow's like to the workspace, and let's take a look. But anyway, I love the way it's coming out. You're using a template. Yes, that is the way to go about it, because you don't want, sometimes in certain occasions, you don't want to start from scratch. You want to leverage, you know, the great work from the community. So
might be that the text is white on white.
I was gonna say that.
Try to select to see if you have, when you select is blue and it shows if you have text or not.
Yes. Can you
share again?
Yeah, can you share again, Danai? And then let's take a look, because I wanted to see like the design. You said that you can't get back into the project because of the email.
I cannot, no. But I can log in. Yeah, because I've lost the email that I created the account with, so I cannot.
How about, okay.
Because I went back and I created a new account with my Google account, with my Gmail account. So now I've kind of lost it. But
try to share your screen again and try to select where you have text to see if on blue you can see white text.
So this is a template that they used.
Okay. And you are using your actual Gmail account here. You know this Gmail account.
Yeah, that's my Gmail account. Yes.
Okay, I see. Oh, interesting.
But yeah, I kind of.
But you know what? I know the folks from Flutter Flow. I have a couple of folks in there. I can find that out for you. You say that you lost the account. You don't know which is the account. Is that what it is? Or you
the email? Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I used to be 100% honest with you. I just wanted to try out this tool.
Oh, I see. You wanted to try out, but then yeah, I see.
I use this 10-minute emails.
Oh, I see.
Now I've lost it, and
I see. Now you lost it. Okay, wow, what a shame. But that was coming out so good. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Can't you try to replicate that experience little by little? Again, I think you're gonna have to start from scratch.
Try to select there the text where you have to see if on top of the white. Try to select where you don't see the text.
Oh, it doesn't let it select. Yeah.
You cannot select at all. If you try to select, no, to go on the white where you have text. Yeah,
no.
It doesn't.
Yeah, that's what I feel like.
Okay.
It's a
here there was text.
Because many times when I see like this, I select it, and if I have, I go and change the color of the text.
But here you can see that there are different, like the options are there, so that might be the issue.
It could be it could be the theme, like the theme of the template. Like maybe the theming it has like maybe a color but it proves to you that okay, where did you find that template? Is that template in here in Flutter Flow, or did you have?
Yes, no, it was one of the Flutter Flow ones.
Got it. Okay, because it'd be good to actually even go to that same template, take a look.
You know what? Maybe I do have it here because it is.
Oh, you published it here in your Flutter in Firebase?
Yes.
Well, but you published it. The thing is that I don't know whether you'll be able to recover that code, like the code that is in there, like the actual editable code. It would be. I don't know whether you
might be able to find the email though.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I see. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Oh, that was very clever. Can you try then doing go to the project where you. Oh, I'm thinking about like the. Was that the one?
That's the one. Yeah.
Okay. How about the email? Is that the one? No, it's not. Oh,
no.
Oh, that's it. Oh, because the project of the email is one thing, and the email of Flutter Flow is another email, I think.
Anyway, I'll just keep looking. Otherwise, I'll just do everything. Well, yeah, I'll just do everything.
Got it. But no, this is good. I see now, how useful Flutter Flow is. You're cranking, like developing Flutter applications left and right. Please keep it up. I love.
And you can upload photographs, and it's really cool. This template's really cool. You can upload.
Very nice.
It has like a user login thing. I just want to build an application for a symposium that a part of this group that promotes STEM education for women, and we're just organizing a symposium, and I just want to build an application for it. And it kind of, this is for a wedding thing, but I think you can use it for something like conferences and stuff.
Definitely. And were you able to connect it to Firebase? Is that the login part that it has, right? Like you can connect it to Firebase, right?
Yeah, it connected to Firebase, and it shows that actually these are the ones that I tried, and it kind of stores all the information. So that's cool.
Very, very nice. Very nice. I'm so glad to see like someone already using it in the wild and definitely getting really good results from it. So folks, there it is. Another happy Flutter Flow user. Not so happy because you lost your account, but other than that, I see the great things that you've been doing in there. So thank you for sharing. That was really cool. That was really good stuff.
I'll try the color of the font. That might be the solution.
Yeah, try that exactly, and see if you can find that same template so you can rebuild that stuff that you're building, the STEM application. That was very cool.
Thanks.
Great. Thank you for sharing. Who do we have with another link? David Odejovi, you're providing the GitHub. That's awesome. For Imad to take a look. Great. Imad, you are having an issue on the Flutter. On which one is it that you're having an issue? Can we bring Imad up? Either Kevin or Linda. Just wanted to see if Imad wanted to share maybe an issue that he may be having with his application. You said that you're having an issue. Yeah, go ahead, Imad. How you doing, man?
All right. Hello.
Hey,
how are you? Yeah, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak. So I just have a problem here with my projects, but I have a lot of several projects on Flutter Flow, so not just one. Okay.
Yeah, I see the stuff that you've been doing in Flutter Flow. The ones that you show me look very good. So you are another good Flutter Flow user. Continue, please.
Yeah. So what I'm trying now is just to execute the command of Flutter Web, but that's the issue. So as I gave it to you in this message, as you see here.
So I see the message that is talking about like a specific the Riley. Oh no, it said Riley Go. That is your application, right? But then you're
I can share my screen if you want to see.
Please, can you share it?
Yeah. Okay. All right. So give me 1 second. Because you see me now. All right. So you see me now. Yeah. So I'm trying to run another project, but I will execute this. Give me just 1 second. Where is it? I think it's here. Yeah. All right. So I will now join this. Okay, just like this. Get packages.
Got it. Yeah. So always you do Flutter Pub.
Yes.
Pub. Got it.
Yeah. So that's the issue, as you see.
Riley Go depends on collection. Flutter test is forbidden. So Riley Go's dependent Flutter test from SDK. Here's okay. Go back to the pubspec.yaml. Can you go to the pubspec.yaml on the left?
Okay.
Like right here, the pubspec. Very good. Okay.
Yes.
Scroll down. Let me see what packages you have. Oh, okay. You have a fair amount of packages. There are some packages, unfortunately, I'm going to have to tell you, there are packages that are not supported on the web. So your application, because of the dependencies that you have, I see a couple in there that are not built for the web. You may not be able to. In this case, you see, folks, I'm glad, Imad, that you shared. This is one of the cases where you cannot then deploy to the web. This one is in the only way that you can do it, that you can leverage the code is actually then creating another project. Then you have to bring the code, you can bring it over, and then you can do like a, for example, like descoping, like make only the stuff that can work on the web, you can make it for the web. But in this particular case, because of the amount of packages that you have and the specific packages that don't work on the web yet, you may not be able to do this for the web. But you can create it. For example, I know that you started it on let's say you started it on Flutter Flow. You started importing all those packages. You can preview it, but then you cannot build it for the web because of that specific reason. Again,
understood.
Exactly. That is because of that. But it'd be great, let's say, if you in the event that you want to build this application for the web, you just build another project and then you can just bring the code over.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because there is an option in Flutter Flow to target the web.
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah, that is very that is possible. Maybe I need some minutes to make it very fastly. Okay.
Got it. And in Flutter Flow, then you can specify oh, this is going to be for the web, then it's going to tell you, for example, which packages may work for it, may packages may not. But I like that you're, is this another app? Hey,
yeah, that's another project. There's a lot of.
You're going crazy, man, building a bunch of apps. That's awesome.
Yeah. Because I'm working with several clients in Morocco.
Right, man, you're doing good. You see, you guys are seeing the benefits of Flutter Flow for building really great applications that you can build in no time. Yeah, you don't have to go from scratch all the time. It's because you want to do like very custom experience. But Flutter Flow works very well for all of these.
But in my experience, so Flutter Flow is very, very good for beginners, okay, and also for the not developers. But for me, you know, I'm very, very focusing to be a Flutter developer. So maybe sometimes it's gonna be hard because, you know, you really want the skills of writing high quality of code.
Totally.
Yeah.
And again, thank you, Imad, for sharing. Again, I said, apologies, in advance for, I've been a little bit busy. I wish I could help you a little more, but please continue on your journey because you're doing great work. So thank you for
so
sharing
much.
one more time. I just wanted to address one comment from the folks here, like when they're doing about like Alexander, you have an amazing point when you say that the less third-party packages you have, the easier it is. That is a good point. For Imad, because he's getting to know more Flutter and all of that, and he's building his applications as rapid prototyping and whatnot. It kind of makes sense real quick. I would go for the approach of the least packages, the better. But in some cases, there's no other way around, getting one of those packages. But your case is, your statement is very correct. For some other folks, again, me, I like to build stuff from scratch because I like to like learn how things work and how they get built. But in certain cases, you want to build like a very cool app, very quick. You don't have that time.
Because it's just slow. Because in my experience,
does, and then he builds a bunch of apps that they all pretty much look similar, but just minor tweaks. So that is one advantage of doing it that way. So again, thank you all of you for sharing your experiences. I'm gonna continue sharing my screen so that we can wrap up the session. Thank you again, Imad, for sharing. If you don't mind, stop sharing. I'm gonna grab the mic again, and if you go back to listening, that'll be great. So let's yes. Can we? Okay, perfect. So I need the So let me start sharing one more time again. Great, thank you again, all of you, for sharing. So again, like I was showing you, I was wrapping up showing the icon in here at the top. So that is one way to do it. The other way, remember, is when I told you about the progressive web apps, which are applications that have like a mobile type of look and feel. They, you can actually leverage like browser threads and all of that, and you can build like really engaging web applications, but with the power of Flutter, right? So let me continue one more time. Another thing that you can do in your web application is actually change it here in the manifest, some of the things, some of the aspects of your application. For example, here you can change the color, you can change the title and the name of your application. For example, here, the name will be called, for example, Flutter Dev Camp. And the short name, I'll also call it Flutter Dev Camp. These labels right here will show when you add your application to the home screen, that they will look like a mobile application. I'm going to show you in just a minute. Now I'm going to grab the color of the application. I'll probably just grab this this color right here, and then I'll make that like the background color of my application. So let me just grab and drop it here. I'll also make it the theme color. You can add a description here. I'll just say official Flutter Dev Camp web app, for example. You see other things. Remember, we are referring to those icons that I replaced. Very simple. You see, there they are. And that's all you need to do. Edit the manifest.json to make your application look more like again, like a progressive web app, like a mobile web app. Other things that you can do, of course, is in the index. In the index.html is some of those things that you need to do to actually make your application more, actually to tap into the lifecycle API of the web construct, and then you can build like the splash screen and all of that. Let me show you how you do that. So one thing, of course, I'm going to change the title of the application. It won't say Flutter Dev Camp. It will say, it won't look like that. It will say Flutter Dev Camp. I want it to look much better, right? So again, you see we're referring to the manifest.json here. So when I add it as a added to the home screen, it will be added like this. And then the other things that I'm going to do is actually address the issue of that launch screen, of the blank screen in here. So how do we tackle that? Let me show you. For those of you who are familiar with web web development, it's a matter of just adding CSS to this index.html and just adding the icon in there. Let me show you how to do that. So for example, here, this is the main script that gets loaded. This is what actually bootstraps the Flutter Web Application. And here you can actually intercept the call so that then you can do anything with your with the web part of your Flutter Web Application. Like here, you see that it loads the service worker. Then after the service worker loads, then your Flutter application initializes. So that's how it works. So then the way that the way that we're going to do it is we're going to now change, for example, I'm going to add some CSS in here. Check this out. So I can say, you can add it like as a CSS file, but I'm just going to hard code it real quick just so that you can see it here. So I'm going to say styles. And here I'm going to say body. Like in the body of the page, I'm going to add a background color. So I'm going to say background color, and I'm going to add that, text value, which is that green color in the background. So let me save, reload, and now you will see when I rebuild my application again. Let me kill it and let me start it again because it needs to be rebuilt. So when you see it rebuild again now, because I am adding a color that applies to the whole page, now the screen, when you load it initially, won't be white. It will be green because I am actually tapping into the HTML and CSS aspect of the application so that then I can eliminate that white screen that shows in there, because that is actually just the page loading. A Flutter Web is trying to load in the background, and then it takes over for the whole screen, and then it just renders itself in the whole page. So let me show you now another thing. So while that is building, let me show you other things that I'm going to do. So inside of the body, you see there's the script. I am going to add a div, and then this div is going to contain the logo in the middle. David, for your COVID application, this is what I was referring to. See, it's saying body background color because I did it wrong. Sorry about that. So let me fix that. So in the styles, I wanted to say body background color and add that background color. So let me make sure that I am applying that correctly. Let me rebuild this. Let's do it one more time. See, it's not picking up. Let me do it again. So here in the head, I am adding, of course, the CSS. I want to apply it to the whole body, and I want to apply the background color of this particular color. So let's do it one more time. In the div, what I'm going to do in the div, I'm going to show you to you I'm going to show it to you in a minute. I'm just going to add like the image in the so that it appears at the center of the screen so that it can show it to me. So let's try this again. So I'm adding, I can even do it, for example, let me save this again, reload. Okay, perfect. So let me show you how I did it on this other project so I can definitely take a look at it. Just give me a minute. Because right now what I'm trying to do is make sure that I am loading the the color in the background. Let me make sure that I'm actually targeting it correctly so that I can see that in my style. So remember, all these changes need to be done on the HTML, on the rendering HTML, so that when you build it, those changes appear in the build version of it. So make sure that you always apply that to the to the index.html. So let me show you how I'm doing it in this other application. So the way that I'm doing it is typing styles. It's style. Sorry about that. So I had this typo in here. Now let me rebuild, and now you will see it. So when I reload, well, not right now. I'm going to have to kill it again because every time I build it, remember what it does. It grabs the files from here, from this web, and then puts it in here inside of this web. So every time I make one change of that kind, I have to rebuild one more time so that it loads appropriately. So while that is loading, let me add other things. So I'm going to say I'm going to add a div with a ID, and then I'm going to call it, let's say, loading icon, for example. And then that loading icon will be this icon that I want to show in I'm sorry, I'm going to make it as a PNG because I want to make it transparent. I'm going to grab this image. I'm going to call it loading icon as a PNG. Perfect. And now all I'm going to do is just drag that icon image. Let me bring it over. This loading icon image is going to be part of the whole web package. So I drag my loading icon on the web folder. It should be right here. There it is, loading icon. So my application is still building. Okay, I think it's building right now. Okay, it's already okay. So it's still building. Let me now add the icon. The body, I have the icon. That's perfect. Now I want to add the icon. So the icon, I added as an ID because this is the ID. Now I'm going to say, oh, okay, now it is. It's loading. You see the green screen. And then after this, then the application will load. So, okay, there it is. And now I'm going to show the icon in the middle. Okay, so let's show the icon in the middle. Okay, so now I'm going to grab this icon and I'm going to say background, or I can actually just load it as a background image. So I'm going to say background, right? Background, I can say background, like background image. I can say background image, or I just say background URL. And then I'm going to load the image that is right here, loading icon.png, right? And I'm going to say background position. I can say background position center, or and then I say background. I can say background repeat. I don't want it to repeat, right? So I can say background repeat, no repeat. So let's start seeing, and I can actually even add dimensions to it. I'm gonna say, you know, width. Let's say, let's say 150 pixels, and the height 150 pixels. So let's see how it loads. We're gonna have to, let me see if it actually, yeah, I'm gonna have to rebuild one more time, but at least after I do this, I promise I don't have to do it again. So now we'll just build it one more time. Got it. Okay, so here we go. So now I've added the loading icon right here. All I need to do is now adjust it so that it's actually positioned absolute within the page, and all of that. So now it shows in the center. So you will see after I build it, now you see that I'm tapping into that loading functionality of it. I've already changed the title. Once we load it, I'll show you now how when we load it, it's gonna be loading the icon in there. We're gonna adjust it, then we'll publish it, and then you'll see now how my application looks more you know, polished. It looks like a, you know, we took care of that white screen that was showing at the beginning, and now it looks more professional. So let's wait for this to build. So it's building. Here we go. And then all I need to do is just tweak the application. Okay, here we go. So you see now how the app, see how it shows in there. We need to fix that, but you see at least how the title now, it says Flutter Dev Camp, and it has a logo. That's pretty good. And then that image is gonna show better now. So let's now make sure that this image is actually position absolute within the body. So I'm gonna say here position absolute. I'm gonna say, you know, I can say top 50%. I'm gonna tell you how to fix that. and left 50%. I'm going to show you this for a minute. I'm going to say background, I'll say background position again. And then I'm going to actually, yeah, I'll say no repeat. I'm just going to say background size. And then the background size, I'm going to say cover so that it actually gets covered within, or there's another option that you can say like contain. Contain means like the image is going to be contained within that, within those confines, like the 150 by 150. So let me save and reload, and then we should be able to see it one more time. You see, now it looks better there. So now the image is actually contained within the confines of that. But now I want to make sure to line it up better. So how do I line it up better so that it looks better? See, remember I made it 150 by 150 and it's centered within that, actually contained within that container. So you need to take into consideration the width of the image. So the way that you do it is you do a calc. So you're going to calculate 50% of the width of the screen, and then you say minus half of the size of the image. So in this case, you do a calculation of 50% of the screen minus, right, 75 pixels, which is half of the image, and then that way it lines it up more in the center. So I'm going to save that, reload one more time, and now when you see it again rebuilding, let me reload it one more time. Now you see that the image is actually in the center, and now you have a launch screen. You can actually add an SVG. You can add an animated SVG in there, which is much better. And then you have like a little bit more animation. And now you see how I took care of that white screen that was showing in front. Now it looks much better. Yeah, thank you, Sosu. I was, yeah, I should have looked at your message. I was saying styles as opposed to style. Thank you so much. So yes, I did it like that, and now you see that it took care of that. Perfect. You see, now I'm ready to publish. Let's see now if I publish it, how I will see it when, let's say, I load it on my phone, when I see it, let's say, as a progressive web application. So why don't we try that? I am going to now kill the application, and I am going to build it first so that I can see this in my on the web. So I'm going to now say Flutter build web -- web renderer, and I'm going to say canvas kit. So I'm going to go for the canvas kit, and then I'm going to make sure that it's the canvas kit. I am going to delete the web folder in here. I'll move it to the trash, and I will rebuild one more time. First, you build it, you make your changes, you build, and then that generates a web folder. After the web folder gets generated, then you do the Firebase deploy, and then it should be on Firebase. While that is building, I am going to show my my phone screen, because I am going to share the screen so that I can load the application inside of Safari. I'm going to load my application, and I am going to like load my application and then add it as a progressive web application. So I'm going to share my screen using QuickTime. Okay, so I have QuickTime in here. This is still building. I am going to share my mobile browser so that you guys can see. So I'm going to do mobile recording, and then I am going to select my phone. Perfect. And then I am going to show you what it looks like when I add the page as a progressive web application on my phone. So I'm going to use, well, not the, sorry, there we go. So I'm going to show my phone in here, and then that way you will see, for example, I'm going to load the application in there. So just give me a minute. I am going to be loading the web application, the web version. Okay, so it built. Now let's do Firebase deploy. Remember, you either do Firebase deploy or say -- only hosting if you have more than one configuration in your Firebase JSON. In my case, it's only hosting, but that's okay. This is harmless. It doesn't do any difference than doing a Firebase deploy. But if you do this, at least you specify that it's only the hosting aspect that you want to update. So meanwhile, I am going to start loading my old application, remember the way that you used to look, it didn't have the logo in here, it's still loading the white screen in there, and it's not like super polished, but it's coming together. But now let's see, after it does the Firebase deploy, I am going to reload in here, and I am going to access this link. So I'm going to send it to myself. Let me send it to myself meanwhile, so that while you guys see this. Okay, so it's already deployed. I am going to send the link to myself so I can grab it on my phone, and I'm going to load the application as a progressive web application. So always be mindful of that whenever you add your web as a progressive web application, it will look like a mobile application. So here we are. Let's reload. And now you see my published application already with the loading screen. It already has the icon. I am going to drop the link in here. Alexander say, if I remember with CSS, the order is important when defining your properties to avoid surprise override. That is correct. Order is important, because that's exactly why it's called CSS. It's cascading. So the styles are cascading. The order is important. Otherwise, you can override other things. Very good point. Perfect. Now you see how when I reload it, the icon shows and you see how now it looks like more snappy. Now let's take a look on my phone how I load this link, and then let's see what it looks like. So I'm going to open it in Safari. Here it is. This is in Safari, right? It's loading the application, and there it is. So it looks much better. Now what I'm going to do to prove to you that the progressive web app capabilities are already by default, you click on this little icon here, the share icon. You're going to click there, and you're going to go where it says, you can just come over here, and you said add, for example, let me see. I think here I should have gotten the add, it says add bookmark, but it still doesn't come up. So I'm going to have to take a look at that again, because here I should have been able to get the one to say add as a add to home screen. So let me try one more time. Let me make sure that the manifest actually got added as well. So we have the manifest. I do have, okay, so display standalone, that's okay. And also in the index.html, I do have the, let me see, I am loading the manifest in here. I am loading, we do have the, let me see, I think I'm missing, let me see if I'm missing anything. Because even with this, I should have been able to just get the add to home screen option so that you can get it as a, like as a Flutter, as a progressive web application. So you need to make sure that, for progressive web applications, whenever you're using, for example, like, let me go again to the link. Actually, let me navigate completely outside of that experience. So let me copy the link one more time. Let me go back here, and I'm going to open it straight in Safari. I am going to paste it in here. Let me hit go. And there it is. Okay, now it's actually the experience. I was actually looking at it from the experience of the embedded browser of Gmail. So apologies about that. So now you see, if I'm going to add this as a progressive web app, I click again on the share, and now you can see it here. Sorry about that. So now I can click add to home screen, and you see how even there's an icon there. How there's the icon there, you see, and it says Flutter Dev Camp, right? Now I'm going to click done. I hit done. And now you see it right here in my home screen as if it was an application. So now if I tap on it, it launches as a mobile application. There is no Chrome, and it fills the whole screen, and it looks more like a mobile application. So that's why I said, and then now if you tap in here, it looks like a mobile application. I can dismiss it. I can come back. I can move this, I can delete it. I can tap again. And you see how the experience looks more like a mobile web application. So that is why I mentioned to you, make sure that you do strive to accomplish like the responsiveness, so that when your users use it as launch it from your mobile phone, you get it and it looks like a mobile application, but you're actually using Flutter Web. So that is the freebie that you get by implementing responsiveness and tapping into the progressive web app capabilities of your Flutter web apps by just implementing responsiveness, editing the manifest.json. Make sure that you open it straight from Safari or Chrome even. But Safari is the one that actually gives you those capabilities more. On Android, you also get it on Chrome. But make sure that you edit the manifest.json. You load it from a full-blown browser. I was actually doing the embedded version of Gmail. That's why you didn't see the add to home screen option. But you see how cool it was that you get the icon. It looks like an app. You get the little name. And you see, like, I love it. I love it. It was like a very seamless experience. I hope you guys enjoy that part right there. You see, it has the name in there, Flutter Dev Camp. That's amazing. So, again, any questions around, again, now preparing your application? You see how now I was able to deploy it. Now is available out there. Now I continue adding more features to my application. And then we can, build very cool, engaging Flutter web applications. I didn't have to go through any store. And now you see how I was able to publish it. It looks more like a mobile application. And I give my users a very seamless experience on the web. Great. Any questions? Any questions around that? Any parting messages that anybody wants to share before now we proceed and do the raffles that we promised? Anybody exciting? Again, remember, this is our last session. So now you have your summers all free, your Saturdays free every summer so that you can enjoy it. So I hope you guys have amazing plans for that. Ajmal, thank you so much. You will learn Spanish from previous events. Oh, that's awesome. Great. Thank you. Great. So let's now proceed. Then if nobody else has anything else to add, I just want to again continue. Thank you for those of you who stuck all the way through. This session is recorded so that you can view it later and you can implement some of these things on your existing Flutter web applications. So let's proceed now with wrapping up this session. We're going to be doing the raffle for the Flutter Dev Camp. You're going to be receiving in the email your certificates of completion based on your submissions. But today, right now, we're also going to be raffling the 5 premium accounts on Flutter Flow. Please stick around right there because we're going to be doing the raffle. Gracias, Camilo. Gracias, amigo. Gracias por el apoyo siempre. Thank you. Camilo is a great partner of us. He's from Florida, Toronto. He's been doing great events with the developer community. So thank you, Camilo, for your support as always. We're going to stop the recording, but right after, we're going to be doing the raffle. Just wanted to say for the recording, thank you. Thank you so much for sticking with us through all these 4 sessions. We're going to see you in the next one. Please watch the previous videos so that you can get more knowledge about Flutter Web, and see you on the next one. We hope to continue doing these events in the future, like every year. We'll probably do it every year. So I hope to see you in another future session. So thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for your support, and see you on the next one.